and welcome to the Charm City Soccer Cast, a brand new podcast covering USL expansion to Baltimore, hopefully. We had some reports about it. We have reports about it every few years, but I've had the name for this podcast for years now and figured let's actually do it. Let's create a crest for it. Let's get it going. So that's what I've done here. So we have our Charm City Soccer Cast crest, and we will be bringing you any sort of news and updates in the world of soccer to Baltimore, with also covering teams like Christos FC, the Christos FC women's team in the USL W League, and also covering probably some of Maryland Bobcats FC. So just kind of like a Maryland soccer thing, but really trying to focus on the efforts to get a team to the USL. So I am putting up this little small clip here to get the feed for the podcast started, to get the YouTube for the podcast started. If you know who I am affiliated with the Stateside Soccer Show from Logjam Sports. That is what me and my college roommate, I guess you could say, Logan, who's my co-host of Stateside Soccer Show. We used to have a thing called Stoppage Time, which focused on European soccer. Stateside Soccer Show talks all things U.S. men's national team. We're going to be covering the World Cup. We cover MLS week in, week out. So this podcast is kind of part of that. So what can you expect? Well, I'm hoping to try to get some interviews for people that are actually in the trenches of trying to bring this here, if I can find out how to contact people like that. But any sort of updates on the situation of moving, getting a USL expansion team, the Port Covington site. So what you'll see in your feed after this little short trailer is an actual first episode, which details my experiences with Baltimore soccer and any sort of updates we have with that Port Covington site, what it's going to be used for, the study they're doing. All of that stuff is going to be on the next episode that's in the feed for Charm City Soccer Cast. I'm open to co-host if anybody is interested and really passionate about soccer here in Charm City, in Baltimore, getting a team here instead of having to travel an hour and a half to Philadelphia, an hour and a half to DC. Even teams like the Bobcats are closer to DC in that Montgomery County area, Prince George's County area, that I'm trying to, if you're passionate about that, if you're interested in that, reach out to me. We can talk soccer. If you have the necessary tools to do podcast hosting, you can be on the show. But really just trying to create some momentum here for the move to USL and trying to show them that this is a big market. This is a market that only has two sports teams, right? We have the Orioles and the Ravens. We don't have an NBA team. We do not have an NHL team. It's time to get us at least a USL championship side, because even Christos is USL 2, which is kind of like a pre-professional league. And actually having a stadium in the town, in the city, I think would be a big boon. We had the Baltimore Bows for 4 years, but they played in Cedar Lane and Bel Air, which is right around the corner from me. But for the people of Baltimore, they're not traveling out to Bel Air. They played at Towson, I think, for a bit. Or St. Joe. I don't know. They played a few different places. And usually when I talk to people in Baltimore about soccer, their first thought always goes to the Blast, which is not, that's indoor. That's a whole nother level. We'll talk Blast on here as well, I'm sure. But if you're passionate about it, if you want to reach out to us, we are on all of our platforms as pretty much at Charm City Cast on Twitter, on Facebook at Charm City Cast, Instagram at CharmCityCast. And I think our email, if I can locate our email address, is CharmCityCast at, is that right? Email is also charmcitycast@gmail.com. So that's how you can reach us for anything, any questions, any news articles you come across. Like I said, if you're passionate and want to be a part of this podcast or this community, let me know. Hit me up. But that's the end of this trailer. The next episode should be in your feed. If it's not already there, probably there in the next day or so. But I'm recording it right after this. And it's all about that big update we got about that Port Covington site. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. And we'll see you hopefully on the next episode.